What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 4. Today, I am here by candlelight, actually with a bunch of my friends from kind of all over the place. They joined me for the second installment of
The Scrolls of Uncertainty.
Thank you to everybody who was a part of it. Hope you enjoy. So with that being said, let's get going.
Dude, I'm so uncertain about these scrolls. I've never been more ready.
Would you rather defend a castle or attack one?
Wow. That is a great question, first off.
Thank you.
Believe it or not, I have thought about this.
Hit me.
I think the safe option is if you have a great castle. I'm talking fortified walls, maybe even a moat of some kind, a drawbridge. Then you know what? Yeah, I'd defend the shit out of it. Like, fuck you. Like, try to come in my castle. But, like, what? Like, it'd be a lot of fun to try and get in. You know?
That is true.
So, yeah, like, smart and safe. Yeah, defend the castle for sure. Fuck yeah. I'm going with defend.
You could be in a siege if you're defending.
Yeah.
Which is brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal. But, I mean, why do you think there's so many castles still around today? They're fucking castles, man. Like, come on, dude.
Touche. What is your all-time favorite flavor?
All right, so
this is a great question for you because you're like a man of sandwiches, like
sausage, like ice cream varieties.
I'm really interested. Your favorite flavor, like of all time?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be hot sauce, man. I mean, you guys know I love my ice cream, obviously, but if there was something I had to go with and I couldn't, like if I was only gonna be able to do one thing or use one kind of flavor, the rest of my life, I guess would be technically buffalo. Buffalo hot sauce would be my thing, man. It's versatile. You can throw it on a whole bunch of things. You know, like I kind of wanted to slide the half baked from Ben and Jerry's in there, man. But like you can't really throw ice cream on, a whole lot of things. So hot sauce you can at least, or buffalo sauce you can throw on a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna go
That
buffalo.
is such a good answer.
Definitely a sauce, man.
Do you put BBQ sauce on your Harris Teeter subs?
It depends on what sub it is.
One of my favorite things in the world is ranch because ranch is like you can put it.
That's a fine answer. I'll take
just
ranch.
About anything. It's not my number one. That's the problem. Is that like it's not my number one. I don't want to say that, 'cause even though I know I am a fat person at heart and working on it in life, I don't want my answer to be ranch.
That is a bad look. That's very not Gryffindor of you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. It's, I'll probably go to bed later on and be like, no, it's definitely something else. But I'm gonna say strawberry because I love artificial strawberry. I love real strawberry. I love desserts with strawberry. I love everything there is to love about strawberries. That's like number one for me.
I could listen to you talk about strawberries for hours. What's the best strawberry you've ever had?
The best strawberry I've ever had? Probably went with whatever that cake is with whipped cream and stuff, like strawberry shortcake. That stuff's scary good.
That's like peak strawberry flavor for you.
I love strawberry. You got me going here. And then in a more broad sense, in terms of favorite flavor or whatever, bread. I like anything that you can. I know it's aggressive, but if I'm going broad with it, it's bread.
That's ridiculous. Is that even a flavor?
It's not. I mean, it's not. It is and it's not. It's a vessel for flavor, if that makes sense.
If you were to play in a championship game and win or score the winning point, touchdown, point, score, whatever, buzzer beater, what championship would you rather be in?
Cliche answer, basketball. But
so What specific championship? March Madness, NBA championship?
Yeah, definitely March Madness. I feel like NBA championship is great, but, it could end in 5, or 4. But there's something about that, sudden death of March Madness, I feel like it'd be way more crazier. And, like, going through that gauntlet of the tournament is just insane. You know what I mean? You don't know. Like, you'll be playing random small school that could upset you. You'll be playing a big dog. I just feel like it's just such a gauntlet. To win that championship, you said on a game winner, like buzzer beater?
So if it's basketball, you're hitting a buzzer beater to win.
Yeah. That would just be, I feel like, the ultimate. Like, you'd go down to history forever.
If you found a treasure map and were told that it's a real treasure map, would you drop everything you're doing in your life and try to solve it?
I would probably do it. Yeah.
It's super high risk, high reward.
Do you know what the treasure is?
Yes and no. So if you did, would that make you want to do it?
I think if I knew what the treasure was, I'd be more inclined to.
Even if it so if it's a huge one, and it could take you like 15, 20 years.
I would do it. I mean, that's almost life. That's almost life as it is already. You're already searching for the treasure of life, so you might as well.
Wow. What a metaphor you just dropped. All right. So what would be the minimum number?
I don't know, a year's salary.
That's it?
Oh,
no
God.
way.
Adventure. Like, do I get to bring people on this treasure hunt? Like,
I mean, if you want, it's your.
Like, is this full-on Goonies style treasure hunt?
Sure. It's whatever you want. It's whatever you want it to be like.
Gosh.
A year's salary is not enough. I would not allow you to do that.
Start an Instagram account. Call up.
Well, obviously. Yeah, you get North Face sponsorship. You get like a Yeti cooler sponsorship.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
There you go. So you're just making money off of endorsements at that point.
Yeah, there you go. Make it a full-time job.
It's a good plan. What medieval weapon of choice would you specialize in if you lived in medieval times?
No question, but I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a mace.
Is it the thing with the spikes, a ball with the spikes at the end?
Yeah, 100%.
On the chain, or is it like are you holding something?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know that I would want. I'm looking at it now.
Like Sauron.
Yeah,
Sauron
exactly.
had the one with the chain.
I don't know that I would want the one with the chain.
So you want like a stick with a ball with spikes at the end? Yeah,
that's what I'm looking at here. I mean, so let's talk through this here. What's the advantages of the chain?
Distance. You look way more intimidating. I think
if I walk into battle and then like I drop the mace part of it and people are like, oh, this guy is ready to go.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more cons than pros though. It's probably slow. It's not very defensive.
Yeah, the defensive part of like if I'm fighting somebody who's using a sword, like if I have my big mace type of thing, then I can at least like defend myself. Exactly. And then go for some like uppercut swing.
Exactly.
Also, on Etsy, you can buy the chain one for just $176. So
what is it made out of?
Let's see. War mace, Viking mace, handcrafted. A personalized gift. Man, Etsy is a magical place. The iron one is $176, or you can upgrade to the stainless steel one for $323.
Wow, and you can engrave them?
I mean, it's the handle is engraved.
So, follow-up question: are you asking for that for your birthday or for Christmas?
The more I look at it, the more chain is intriguing to me. But I would need to have some sort of training. Like if I'm walking into battle tomorrow, give me the one on the end of the stick.
Well, the point of the question is like you're specializing in this, so like you're going to you're dedicating your life to it.
Then I think it's chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's chain.
Sick.
Yeah, especially if I'm dedicating my life to it and I can just get ripped and I can just be working out all day and be a warrior, I'm
Exactly.
definitely double barreling these maces. Like I'm rolling in with 2.
Double mace.
And then I'm just like going into battle.
God.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
And I have no reservations. That's what I'm picking. But then the second I walk into battle and somebody has like a bow and arrow, I take 3 feet and it's just like, boom, you're sniped.
Yeah, right. You can block them.
Oh my! If I got like this is.
So you could do it so fast that they shot and you just shing, and you just
right, and then I get close enough, and then finally I just boom. Oh, all right. Well, now I have even less reservations than I did before.
Think about this probably once a day. Primary weapon of choice.
Hit me with the primary.
Start with that. Hit me. Hit you with the primary. I mean, it's hand-to-hand combat back then. You know, you got to be able to fuck around. You just can't stand there. You know, you got to get in the thick of it if you're a real, if you're a knight of the round table. So, I'd go with the sword, a long sword.
A long sword.
Gotta keep them away. But you gotta know how to use a bow and arrow. It's useful. It's a useful weapon. You gotta know how to use that. Maybe a little throwing knife. Just to catch people by surprise.
Remember when you and Gruber used to throw the knives in the doors in Berg?
Oh yeah, that. Honestly, yeah, that was good times. I bought a throwing knife to keep myself occupied during quarantine on Amazon. $20. 5
Has it come
days
in yet?
Oh, it's gotten there. I used it. I was getting decent with it. Like when I mean decent, like maybe 4 out of every 10 times it would get stuck in the tree.
I feel like that's pretty good.
Fifth day of using it, fucking just broke in half. Just broke.
You need to buy like a $400 Viking throwing knife or something real.
Well, my logical thought process was let's just move it up to a throwing axe. So,
I could see you be really good at throwing axes.
it'd be a lot of fun.
I would love to see you running into battle throwing axes. That would make my life.
Especially with my shirt off.
What is the greatest, most memorable tree you've ever seen?
Tree? Does that be real life?
I mean,
Think of
I would like one that's real life, but if you have one that's not real life, I would like to hear about it.
Before Time, the movies. They pick the treetops and the little leaves
the star leaves or whatever.
Star leaves. Yeah, I don't know those trees, man, and those leaves. They make them sound real good.
Like delicious wise.
Yeah, like I kind of want one. I'm trying to be Littlefoot. I forget the mom's name.
I don't. But Littlefoot.
No, it's not Bigfoot. I know the tiger.
No.
Tiger. The two actually named Sharp.
There's Sarah, Duck,
Petrie, and then Sharp Tooth.
Yeah,
something like that. Or the T-Rex.
What about in real life?
Okay, the second one from the fence line in Darnestown. We would always, that's like the one tree we would always climb and try to make a tree house out of, and I don't know, just a lot of time spent in those trees.
Did you ever make a tree house?
I mean, we tried to, but like looking back, probably wasn't the smartest idea. We just took wood and a nail and a hammer, just putting it right into the tree. Feel bad now, but I mean.
I feel like it probably didn't hurt that much, and I also feel like the tree really would appreciate all the love you gave it. So you shouldn't feel bad. That's a good answer. A nice childhood tree where like you grew up with.
Yeah,
that's
it
a
was
great
actually
answer.
Another spot in that same neighborhood. It was like by this little pond area, and I don't know what kind of trees either, but there was 6 of them. And after school, we'd ride our bikes down there, and we made a fort within those trees that had like a back entrance to it, and like you climbed in like on the floor of the trees though, and there was like a sitting area, and we like moved everything out of the way, and we created like a hallway and stuff.
Wow, that's intense. I didn't know that. That's great.
Darnestown was lit.
Did it have a name? Did the fort have a name?
No, I forget if we made it a name, but
no girls allowed, or were girls allowed?
Yeah, I actually took my elementary school girlfriend down there a lot.
Wow.
I wonder if she hears this, she'll remember it or not.
That was a great answer. If you were in a car chase, what vehicle would you want to be driving, both as the chaser and the chased?
Have you ever seen the car on Doug? Like the car that Doug drives? Like Bluffington? You know what I'm saying? It's like a big, like, woo.
I know exactly what you're thinking of.
I mean, the Flintstones car would be, that would be sweet. But like Doug's
Doug
car is
with
pretty
the
chill.
huge like window.
I'd go with that. I'd go with the.
So would
I'd
you
go
want to
with the
be? Would you want to be getting chased or chasing in that car?
I would. I would want to be chased by someone in the Flintstones car, just on foot.
That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You would get away with them easily.
Oh, I would get gone on them peoples. But yeah, the cop has to be in the Flintstones car. The Dark Knight's car.
Yeah,
By the Dark Knight, I mean Batman. That's pretty fucking badass.
That's usually what I say. Like the Batmobile would.
Batmobile's so badass. You just can't beat that.
The Doug car is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was the first thing that popped into my head. I love Doug so much.
An enemy, a foe, is running at you from 100 yards.
Oh, yes. Love the way this is starting, right?
You have 3 arrows, 3 spears, a crossbow with 2 shots. Do you kill them before they reach you?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not even running.
With which one? With which one? You could hit them technically with any of them, but like
realistically, spear. Crossbow, maybe. Bow, unless I'm like training for that shit. Like, spear,
bow is just very intimidating. I really think I would either say crossbow or spear, but if it's personal, probably a spear.
Does he have armor? Does said foe have armor?
Doesn't matter to me.
No, doesn't matter. Yeah. He's good. Yeah, he's
I don't know.
He's definitely not making it to me for sure. There's no way.
Let's go with no. So 100 yards.
The spear is definitely taking him out.
Also in this scenario, I'm saying they're running straight directly at you. Like if they're zigzagging, there's no shot.
He's not.
They're coming straight at, like if I was started at the end of a football field and ran straight at you and you had all those things.
Yeah.
Can you make an addendum to this question? Ninja stars. That would be an awesome option.
I might get him with an arrow, but I'm not confident I would have enough velocity on it to take him out.
I don't even know if I can shoot it properly.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like maybe a compound bow because it just like sits in it, but spear, 100%. He's done.
All right.
Just one toss.
One toss. So the first one out of 3.
Yeah, fuck it. He's done.
Wow. Well, now you're getting cocky. So dark as this sounds, spearing somebody running at you is probably a feeling.
Probably the same as like that ball pop feeling. I think that's
just like hitting a perfect drive on the golf course.
Yeah.
What would your professional wrestling name be, and what would your outfit be?
Holy shit! I feel like if I went for it and I was a wrestler, I'd grow out a mustache, just like. Love it. For the irony, because I've been doing that recently, here and there, just letting my mustache grow. I'd probably go. Shit, that's hard. Hold on.
I love how the first thing you think of is I'd probably have a mustache.
Because as soon as you say wrestling, I think Nacho Libre, like immediately. That's my first thought.
All right, we'll go in that direction.
I would definitely be a luchador if I were in wrestling for sure.
With the mustache showing, so the mask would have to end like right here.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I would just have a hole right here. It would just be a hole. Name and costume. That was the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is way hard. This is way harder than I expected. I mean, it's not funny. Like, it's not funny me thinking this hard at all. Trying to just go straight off the top of my head. It'd have to be something blanco because of how pale I am. So I'd probably go.
What's mustache in Spanish? You could be the white mustache.
Oh my God, I don't even know. I feel like I've known that word before, but mustachio maybe. I just made that up.
Bugatti. Bigote.
Bigote. I did not know that word.
Blanco bigote. I like
Yeah,
Blanco
honestly,
mustachio.
it kind of works for me. That kind of flows. It'll Bigote Blanco.
Bigote Blanco. Okay, sure.
Bigote Blanco. With that, if it's luchador, I'm going with just all white mask and then like a fur diaper shaped thing, and that's it.
Like white fur?
No, just
or brown fur, or like your mustache colored fur.
Sure, black, brown, black, whatever.
That's terrible. I love it.
It would be the worst. There'd be no joy in it. Just entertainment.
When I read like Golden Compass, I was like thinking about like spirit animals and stuff like that, like what would be or whatever.
Have you watched the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I read all of the books before, and like before the HBO show came out, because I wanted to do that. So really, really thinking that polar bears are my spirit animal, just in general. Just huge hulking bear who loves the cold. That's just it. Some sort of themed outfit having to do, instead of like a black leather jacket, just like a white fur jacket just coming out. Would you
consider, and this may be against your brand, but would you consider wearing like a polar bear? And then
I think it would be encouraged to wear a short sleeve hoodie that's just covered in like either fake
just like
polar bear fur. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think short sleeve hoodie. I think short sleeve hoodie is actually the way to go. We'll scrap the leotard. And
well, you could wear the leotard underneath. That could be just your entrance.
Yeah. No, I think I'm fighting in the short sleeve hoodie. Just like arms out, maybe nothing underneath the short sleeve hoodie.
Probably
just
not.
Like, that's what we're doing.
Great white bear.
Big freeze.
The great white bear would be sick.
That would be.
Oh, here he comes! It's the great white bear.
Yeah, was there some like? Yeah, everybody just tosses up the bear claws. Dude, and then I could parlay that into like a 7-Eleven bear claw deal. That would be sick.
For anything, yeah. You'd be big in the pastry business.
York Burnison.
York Burnison.
Yeah, exactly. Something.
And then just.
Yeah, something Nordic, something Swedish, Finnish, come out. Yeah, I think that's what I do. And then my move, I mean, can it just be like a bear hug?
I was gonna say,
I just like engulf somebody like that.
Just squeeze them to death.
Like,
it's got to be a bear hug.
Oh my God, he's hitting it with the bear hug.
The great white bear, York Burnison. This episode of
The Scrolls of Uncertainty
is sponsored by a good friend of mine, Brecreation.
Cause the night's still young, and you can have my love, but you've been through too much.
He has a new album coming out soon. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, man, what's going on, guys? New album coming out soon. It's called Dark But Vibrant. It's coming out on July 3rd, and I'm super excited for it. I've been working on it for about 2 years now. Got a lot of dope visuals with it. Some live performance plans now with the COVID switching things around. Some Instagram live at-home stuff. A lot of cool stuff planned for it. A lot of diversity on this album, so can't wait to share it with you guys. It's already locked in July 3rd. Make sure you pre-save it. You can go to my page and pre-save it so you automatically get it. And I'm excited to share it with y'all.
This is a classic question. I think we've even talked about this before.
All right.
If you were getting sorted into a house at Hogwarts, what house would you be in?
Not Slytherin.
I don't see that.
Way.
You're way too jolly and like lovable.
Yeah. I think like obviously, right? Like everyone is like, oh, Gryffindor, but you don't hear about, what is it, Hufflepuff? And what's the other one?
Ravenclaw.
What's the other one?
Ravenclaw.
Yeah, those guys, they get no love. I understand Harry's the main character and he's in Gryffindor, but what the fuck? There's 2 other houses. It's like Slytherin and Gryffindor. Oh, I got some claw of a Raven. Like, fuck them, right? Like, did they even show anyone getting into Ravenclaw in the first one? I don't think so. My put the hat on.
What do you got?
You know what? Fuck Gryffindor. I'm going Ravenclaw.
All right. Clever, wisdom, wit, intellectual ability, and creative. You're very witty.
Oh.
I think you're very clever and creative. I think that would be fine.
Yeah. You know what? Sounds like Ravenclaw's the house for me.
Noted for their individuality and acceptance of people and things that others would consider weird.
Boom.
I think that suits you. I mean, look at you right now.
What are you trying to say?
That suits you very well. That you look witty. You look witty right now, is what I'm trying to say. What Hogwarts house would you be sorted into?
Ravenclaw.
Why?
Because they're the thinkers of the four houses. I mean,
yes, they value intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Logical people, stuff like that. I would like to say that there's part of each four house. Like I could easily see myself fitting in any of the four.
Sure.
I just think the most likely would probably be Ravenclaw, because Gryffindor for like the kind of the elite. You know what I mean? Like that's a high level club to get into Gryffindor. You got to be kind of a badass.
Yourself being that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying I could see my like a little bit of that. Like
I was gonna say, have some self confidence in yourself.
But like I'm not elite. You know what I mean? Like I think that.
Damn, I think you are.
No, because
I want you to know. Look at me.
Yeah.
I want you to know. I think you are.
Elite. Thanks, I appreciate that. Now I feel like Gryffindor are the people who like, because I'm lazy. Like I'm definitely not. Like my laziness puts me straight into Slytherin for sure. Like that's me there. And I feel like Ravenclaw's a little too boring. Like the class, the caliber of student that's there is kind of boring. You know, they're just there for the education and not much else. And I mean, you remember college? I didn't really give a shit about going to class.
You were not the.
I mean, I did. I went to every class. And
you graduated. I
graduated, but I was much more interested in going to the porch and walking down,
hanging out.
Oh God, I miss college. I knew that was
playing intramural volleyball. All right, Ravenclaw. That's good.
I might have peaked freshman year of college, honestly. That's that might be it, you know.
Oh my God.
Probably Gryffindor, man. That like not even trying to be like you know the answer that a lot of people probably give, but it'd probably be Gryffindor, man. Like
it's fair.
Grew up watching Harry Potter. HB's easily one of my favorite, you know, series of all time. So I'd have to go Gryffindor. Wouldn't be surprised though if I got into Slytherin as well. Because
why do you say that? Not that that's a bad thing, but
well, I mean, because you know, obviously it gets portrayed in the movies, you know, at least as being a house of, you know, not something that people don't want to be a part of, but you know, some of the qualities and values that they, you know, represent are good qualities if applied the right way. You know,
ambition, leadership.
Yeah,
someone who's cunning.
Hey man, if it's used with the right intent and the right purpose, then all those are good qualities to have as well. You know, it only comes bad when you use them for the wrong reasons. So,
well, from a Gryffindor standpoint, I can see you're a very chivalrous person, so I think that's good.
I would like to think so.
living in that house in college period took courage. So
sweeping up the floor, mopping the floor after a 3607 party definitely took some courage.
What is the favorite stretch of road you've ever traveled on?
I can answer this like really, really quickly because we just drove by it. My grandparents lived on Lake Gaston when I was a kid growing up, and we used to go to their lake house. They sold it like 5 years ago. It broke my heart. And they still live near Lake Gaston. But I remember just like the road it's like the top of their driveway. Most of it was like broken up and crappy road, but there's all these mailboxes. I don't know. I just remember like that specific road and then walking down the road and then finding frogs down the road, so many things. And then we used to drive golf carts everywhere. We would like get really, really drunk and drive golf carts down this road, like from being a kid, just looking for like critters, to like being a teenager and being a super, super shithead, to being like an adult and like saying goodbye. Oh, I'm so sad. To like the place like kind of when I was a kid. So
wow, that was
not
my
to cry.
heart.
Mine's
That was
whack.
so emotional.
I was just thinking about. I like. This is not even remotely as like deeper. It's just
That was that was a bullseye.
honestly in McLean. There's a spot on Old Dominion that's like, I don't know, like probably like 3 miles long, and it's just literally like a straightaway. But the trees, it's like 2-lane road. The trees on either side of it like go like that, and it's like a tunnel. And when it snows specifically, it literally like makes this cool like snow tunnel with the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Always cool experiences. But yeah, Lord, I'm following up with Taylor, so I should have gone first.
Sorry, yeah,
Everyone's crying, and Mark comes in like.
There's this road with some trees. And if you were pulled on stage at a concert in front of 80,000 people, what song would you most confidently be able to perform?
Song in front of 80,000 people.
I see this going either like an oldie song or like a super country song. But I don't know which one's gonna go. Those are my two guesses.
If I would rather like nail it and entertain by doing it well, or do it very poorly.
So bad it's good.
Yeah, so bad it's good.
That's so funny take. That's a good idea though. Like if you're not gonna do well, like performance wise, you might as well give them a show.
So I'd say Roadman by Smash Mouth.
Oh,
Of their Astro Lounge album.
that's so random. Where did that come from? Is that
Well,
your go-to song?
Yeah, man. Loved it growing up. Recently reconnected with it. Still know all the words. So, 80,000 people would be a breeze.
So I've asked this question to 6 people, including you, and 2 out of the 6 people have said a Smash Mouth song.
Hey,
What are the odds of that?
I think, our generation grew up on Smash Mouth. We didn't have iTunes. We barely had Napster at that point. When they came out with their Astro Lounge album, it was
that even pre-LimeWire days?
Yeah. I think it was I didn't have LimeWire, I can tell you that. Because
the viruses.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the dial-up power to download anything. Bad song. I saw someone karaoke the Cats theme song.
Oh, wow.
Hands down the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
But you loved it?
It was memorable. I mean, that was 7 years ago, and I still talk about it.
So you're going Smash Mouth or the theme song to Cats the Musical?
Let's say not one of my own songs, just because it's not fair.
Before you answer it, if it was your own song, what would it be? What's your favorite song to perform?
No Sleep.
Back to back to back to back. Consecutive. Who need that dope? I'm recording and selling it. I got that old spice. I ain't sweating it. I'll end up dead, chasing dead presidents. Yeah. Jamming, I committing genocide on all you acting rappers. I disrupted and fuck up the habitat. Nigga kicked to the curb like a hacky sack, and that's all day.
There's a lot of words in there, but I'll get them all.
Yeah.
And if it's not my own, like, I might just have to put on, like, Humble, Kendrick Lamar. Just because everybody in the room can get down to that one.
Wow, that's also a tough song.
Classic, like Crank That Soldier Boy. Like, I'm not getting any of those. I would also do a Millie, Lil Wayne.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know. That was like, I took pride in the fact that I knew all the words to that song when I was a kid.
That was one of the first songs I remember people like really trying to memorize all the words, because like
it was tough.
It's fast. And it starts pretty slow, but then it gets like really fast. And I remember distinctly people like sitting and trying to figure out like how to memorize that entire, at least the first verse for sure.
I did it. I was at that point. I think I still am.
We're talking sports, movies, or TV shows. What sports team from a movie or TV show do you wish you played for or were at and like involved? Whether it was like a school or if it was like a professional team, you were like involved in the team. It could be a little league, high school, college, professional.
Yeah, I would say Coach Carter, but they lose. We already lost. It happened in real life. That wasn't fun.
Coach Carter seems that's a good one. That's a good answer. They were
Coach
nice.
Carter.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, they were good. And they had a lot of trials and tribulations, and they came together. Ooh, maybe the Cucumbas.
Oh, you want to be on the Cucumbas team, or do you want to coach with Keanu?
I want to be on that team.
That is so sick, dude. RIPG, baby. But that's a really good answer.
Like Mike.
Wow, that NBA team.
Yeah, Calvin Cambridge. They were called the Los Angeles Knights.
Los Angeles. All right, so we got Coach Carter, the Cucumbas, and the Los Angeles Knights. What is the first crime you ever committed?
Did you hear my roommate?
No, what did he say?
He said, stole my heart. I don't think I've ever done anything too crazy.
Oh. But, but like when you were little, you had to do something when you were little.
So we did steal. This guy had these huge, he had a Redskins and Eagles blow up things in his yard. And he's like famous, or well, not famous, but like everybody knows his yard. You know, he had these huge Redskins.
Yeah, sure.
And a huge Eagles one. And we stole those. And they had to have been expensive as shit. Like they were huge.
How old were you for that?
Probably like 18.
That's pretty old.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this wasn't that long ago, actually. I didn't actually. I was like kind of. That was another along for the ride type thing. I was guilty by association there.
Who are you hanging out with?
I ran out with some sketchy characters, bro. It's Great Mills. Mac, this is Great Mills High School, man. It's a whole nother world we're talking
Jesus.
about. Yeah. We weren't a bunch of choir boys, you know.
Apparently. That's too funny.
So this guy puts up a sign, giant ass sign that says "Bring them back," and we saw.
Did you bring them back?
Yeah, bring them back. That's all. This huge ass like sign. You could see it from the road, and I was like, my boy was like, yo, did you see that guy? He put the sign up, said "Bring them back." Like, oh shit! Like they thought it was so funny, and I'm like, yo. And this is where my evil side came out. I was like, yo, why don't we steal the "Bring them back" sign too? So
yeah.
Stole that. Stole that shit too. Dude,
do with that?
And I think I had met this guy before. He was like the nicest guy too, with like his family and everything were like really nice.
Do you think that made him even more mad, or do you think he like laughed at the second thing?
Dude, he had to have laughed about that. Like he had to have respected that. You know what I mean?
What is your best impersonation of a plant drinking water?
I'm feeling pretty rooted into the ground in my chair right now. Like it's definitely, you know, you gotta get that sunlight. Just kind of like a. It's almost like the opposite of peeing in the morning, like after you've woken up. Like I feel like that's the look, just like right here. Boom.
Total relaxation. What is the most scared you've ever been?
All the time. I'm a very nervous
like
person.
One moment that was scared you, the absolute.
When we first moved to Virginia, I was probably like 8 at this point.
Okay.
We had this neighbor. They were Dutch, and they spoke like so little English, but they had this massive dog, and I don't remember what it was at the time. And this is like before I liked dogs. Like I'm lucky that I love dogs the way that I do now because of this dog. But it would get out like every day. Every day, man, this dog would get out. And like I remember one time I'm walking over to my friend's house, and it's like not far. It's like I can see his house from my parents' house. And I'm like halfway there. And I look over to the right, and the dog, it's like as big as I am, is standing at the top of the hill, just standing there, staring at me. And there's no one around. And I was like, I remember just like, as soon as I saw it, my heart's just like racing out of my chest. And I was like, I can make it. I can make it. And as soon as I said that shit, the dog comes running down the hill at me. I took off like a bat out of hell. And I remember like, I see him, the kid who like I knew, this kid, Victor, comes like running over the hill, yelling at the dog in Dutch. And like the dog's just not listening at all. Not even remotely. So I'm just sprinting. My friend sees me and he's like, come on, man, come on. And like opens the door. And I like basically got in like maybe 2 or 3 feet in front of this dog. But like every time I saw the dog, it just, oh my God. And I'm like, I love, Matt, you know me, I love dogs, but it was like, that shit, good Lord.
So that was straight up the scene from Sandlot.
Yeah, yes, 1,000%. Literally, it was the same dog.
You put on your PF Flyers.
It was the same dog, but it was a Dutch version.
So I'm not going to get emotional during this one. I might. But actually, the scariest moment of my life was last year with Mark. He almost died. His blood sugar went really, really low in the middle of the night, and he had a seizure. And I had to call like EMTs, and I had to give him like this glucagon like syringe thing, like 2 of them. And it was like, that was the scariest moment. I'm like smiling, so I'm uncomfortable, but that was like, I feel like the world stopped. Like I felt like everything was going, you know, like the EMTs were getting there too slow. Everything was moving too slow. I just felt so scared. I don't know. I just felt like completely helpless.
That's
like
it's a completely different type of fear than like what Mark just described from like running from a dog. You know,
that's why when I think about it, like I think since then it's hard for me to think of a moment not knowing, I don't know, and then having to like call his mom and just like everything from there. And when he woke up in the hospital, he didn't remember anything, and that just like completely changes you.
Name an album or albums that you could listen to front to back and never get tired of.
To Pimp a Butterfly, best hip hop album of all time. And if you've
never heard
it is more relevant today than it has ever been. And it came out 5 years ago, and I listened to it like 3 days ago, start to finish, and it was arguably better than the first time I listened to it. So that's a great one. Slim Shady LP is another one.
Ooh.
Dude, that album is incredible. Incredible.
I don't think I've listened to anything from that in a long time.
A long time, yeah. Another one that I could never get tired of, I would say I loved Cushion OJ by Wiz Khalifa growing up, but like that's such a specific pocket. You can only do that for so long. That's like
some
vibe.
Bangers on it though.
Yeah.
That was when I was like first introduced to a whole Wiz mixtape, I think.
I would say Trilogy, The Weeknd. That's another great one.
Oof. Damn.
Never get tired of that, dude. Never.
Is the Loft on that song, on that album?
Yeah, the Trilogy.
That's one of my favorite Weeknd songs.
The 3 first mixtapes that he put out, and then he kind of combined them and created the Trilogy. Yeah. Those were all like, I still love The Weeknd, but like that was when I first put onto him in the Trilogy, that was like, it was special, man. It'll never be like that again. The thing about the some of the albums, not all the ones, especially like To Pimp a Butterfly and Slim Shady LP, like they really tell a story throughout it, and I can respect that so much. It's kind of inspired my next project to like be more of a story from start to finish. Because Dark but Vibrant, it's not really like a clear story that has a start and an end. It's kind of just like songs that throughout it express different things that are going on and like different ways that I create something good out of something bad. So
Trilogy, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Slim Shady LP, are those all albums?
Yeah, Trilogy is yeah, they're all albums. Trilogy is like 3 mixtapes combined, but it's still technically like a project. Slim Shady LP and To Pimp a Butterfly are pretty story based like that, especially To Pimp a Butterfly. But Trilogy is not.
When you get artists in like the highest caliber, I think when they put albums together, at least I perceive that they really try to get the whole thing accumulate into like one, like you said, like pretty much telling a story rather than like mixtapes where you're kind of just like throwing songs on a board and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to there's no rules to it, but there's definitely an art to being able to tell that story through different like gives you different feelings. To Pimp a Butterfly, I keep referencing it because it's such a good example of like the tracks build off of each other. He has like a poem that he starts kind of at the beginning of it and says like lines, and every song at the very end of it, he builds off of it. And then at the very, very end, it's him saying the whole poem that he writes. And then that's kind of like the kickoff into like an interview that he has with Tupac on the album. It's like he reads this whole thing and he's like, I don't know, man, that's all I wrote. And then it's like, damn. So that whole album was kind of like a story. It was kind of like building up to this interview with Tupac at the end. And I was like, damn, Kung Fu Kenny. So yeah, there's definitely a certain art to being able to do that and tell a story, but also like if you just pick a random track, it's still a groove, you know?
What are some things that you have reached 10,000 hours doing?
Okay. So it's a tough one, man. 10,000 hours is a lot of hours. Probably watching football or watching, I guess, sports in general. Like actually watching sports in general is probably way past 10,000 hours, but you know, football, soccer, you know, basketball, obviously lacrosse.
That's a great answer. Do you think playing? Do you think you've played 10,000 hours of lacrosse?
Well, if I have played lacrosse for 10,000 hours, I'm 100% not an expert at it.
But you are an expert at watching sports on TV.
But I'm probably an expert at watching sports because I spend a lot of my time on the couch.
You watching sports for 10,000 hours is hilarious. If you were to voice a puppet, what would the voice sound like?
I don't know. I mean, that's tough. Then I'd go like Metallica. Like just like some weird puppet who just sounded like.
Just saying Creed.
Oh, Creed. Fuck yeah.
Well, I just heard
the news today.
So I have to imitate the voice that I'm going to be doing. As the point of this question is, God, and you're filming this. I don't know if I'd go like high falsetto, like because in puppets in my mind are like super high pitched, like
Elmo almost,
like make believe stuff. But it just kind of depends on the puppet itself, of course. If we're doing sock puppets, I'm definitely going high pitched. I'm this guy. And then if it's like if we're doing like Muppets type thing, I think
it'd be like something like does like
like a weird take on because with puppets no one sees what your face looks like. You can be making dumbass faces.
That's what I'm saying.
Getting into the voices. So
if you want to, you can hide off screen and then talk into.
No, I don't know. I think it would be fun to be like a Muppets character because then you could just like you could even use your own kind of voice, but just kind of like just be a little, you know, just be a little.
That was ridiculous.
I don't really have a better answer for you there because I've never once thought of what I would sound like as a puppet.
I don't think there could be a better answer than what you just gave me. If you could go back and replace a member of any band in history, what band would it be? Basically, so what band do you wish you were a part of after knowing their success and song, all their songs and stuff? So
I'd say Flea. I'd say someone from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So
you'd want to be in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, basically?
Yeah, I think that would be a great, I think that'd be a wild life. They had some crazy times to start, very wild, and then, you know, they kind of progressed as a band and they're still around. So I'd say being in a band like that's been around forever would be a lot more fun than, you know, some of these bands that don't stick around too long.
Chili Peppers would, I mean, you'd be playing with them. I mean, they're probably still going to play for another like 20 years.
Yeah, they're going to keep going. I think that would be a wild one to be a part of. It'd be wild to be in any band, to get to tour around and see different places and live that lifestyle. You give up a lot of the normal aspects of life.
What casts from a TV show would you most like to go to a bar with?
What about People Just Do Nothing?
Steve's?
This is all kitchens. Why would you have this many? How do we get out? It's just everywhere's kitchens.
Yeah, Steve's. But nobody's gonna know what that is.
What was that show that Vinny always watched?
Trailer Park Boys. That was great. I would love to hang out with them too. Anything I'm like my mind is like all mockumentaries right now. That's like about.
Dude, people just do nothing. It's so funny.
Dude, it's so slept on, man. It's a crime how slept on it is. Let's see, man. I don't know. Maybe The Office, I guess. Everybody knows The Office. I mean, dude, I've watched The Office so many times. You know what I mean? I know you're
like already friends with them, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know all their personalities so well.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Michael Scott would annoy the shit out of me at first, but I start to appreciate his,
his greatness,
his heart, yeah, and like his comedy.
That's
like,
why
he's just a different type of dude. You know what I mean?
People who don't like him don't understand his heart.
They don't understand him. Yeah. Yeah, he's coming from a good place. You know what I mean?
So misunderstood.
He's misunderstood. I would love to hang out with Jim. Hijinks and shit. Dwight, obviously, that's my boy. I love Dwight.
You guys grew up on similar worlds.
Yeah, right. Dude, I was harvesting beets today, man.
Really?
Every time I harvest, yeah, for sure. Harvested like 6 trays of beets today. Think about Dwight every time.
For by candlelight, this is
Mark and Taylor coming at you with beer.
Give it up. Thunder River.